Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody! Yours truly, hockey player, up in the box. I don't have a lot to say. I did the video yesterday. Dorf, appreciate the text messages. I knew you could take a joke, but I just wanted to make sure, and I wanted to give you a justified, real beer review for your Hokie homebrew experiment. And it was very, very good. So again, I want to thank all my viewers for coming out. We hit a new record on Saturday night. Only 20 people came out. And I know, guys, you know, that sounds like such a low number when you compare it to the other moguls out there like Craig too. But you know what? I'm ecstatic that 20 people came out, and we maintained that 20 for a long time. And the other nice thing about the 20 is it allows everyone to talk in the chat channel. You don't get stomped on, you don't get forgot about. Everybody gets to have a good conversation in the chat channel. They get to request music. I get the music on. I know I'm not always the fastest getting it on. You know, it was a little hard with you know, having guests in the house and answering some of their stuff, and then your guys' stuff, and you know, I'm a one-man operation here, so bear with me. I'm getting better, I think. You know, hopefully fun was had by all. I know I had a blast. Can't wait till this Saturday's cast. It'll be kind of a special cast because it will be well, the following week I go to Vegas, baby! Vegas! Alright, and we don't have any music, so hold on. So yeah, Vegas is coming up. Arrogant bastard, you ready to party? You saw the aftermath at Hockey Players Pad. What you got? Alright, so I had a request from Hat Trick, I think 365. I definitely know it was Hat Trick, but I think the numbers after it was 365. Wanted to see a little more of my my Kegerator and how I did it. So here it is, just a full-size fridge. I got 6 taps installed. I used the chalkboard paint on the freezer door, and I'm gonna redo it. So if somebody else wants to do something of this style, and you have a textured door, I would recommend using some thicker paint. Get some thicker primer style paint, maybe roll it on so that you really fill in the texture, and so you have a nice flat surface, and then I would put the chalkboard paint over the top of it. So that's probably what I'll do. But more importantly, up here, it's just where I keep my frosty mugs. I keep my hops. I've got grain here that doesn't fit over there. So any of the grains, specialty grains that don't fit there or up there, they go in here. If I'd start brewing again soon, I could get rid of some of these grains. Anyways, but yeah, I've got Citra here, a full pound of Citra, full pound of Simcoe back there. I got Cascade, a lot of different hops. More importantly, let's get to the bottom part. So I did a lot of cleaning on the weekend of my Kegerator. I only have 3 kegs in here right now. I've got the 2 back there that are my 2 beers on tap right at the moment. And I'm gonna move this just a bit. This is root beer for the kids, homemade root beer. I don't run this through my taps because I don't want the root beer flavor and stuff inside the lines. Is very, very difficult to get out, if not impossible. So this is a dedicated line for soda pop. Then you can see I have all my disconnected lines that have all been cleaned, and then I have my dividers there. So I've got 3 up here, 3 down here. This is just how I did it. I've got my canister outside the fridge, and I turn it off once I have a good amount of carb in the tanks, because like Jake, I've come home and had an empty tank, and it was after 3 days filling it and only poured about 2, maybe 3 beers off of it. So I know that some of these will get moved, not these ones, but the air ones will get moved, and they'll let some out. So I shut it off, and then I just turn it on as necessary. I was able to take my line and I ran it underneath here, and boy, I got to clean up the inside of this. But run it under here, and then I went through where they had the normal drain plug, and I ran my hose up through there, and then to my little regulators here, dividers or whatever the hell they're called. I did cardboard, or not cardboard, but a thin piece of plywood here to really give this some stability. So, I mean, these do not move. They're in there. So that's just how I did it. I do have, I think there's another video or two on my channel that might help explain a little more of the process. If you got questions, go ahead and give them to me. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope it provided a little insight for you. All right. What else we got going on? Let me show you Brewstand, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So I now have the filter and dip tube installed and put together in the boil kettle. That's really the only thing I've done, which leads me to the next topic. Main brew guy should go ahead and turn off the video now, because he's a douche. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. Guys, I'm humbled immensely at the outpour and such with, you know, I know Main Brew Guy posted a video and he you know, kind of said what I've been saying a long time, but he took it to the step further and he made my PayPal account available, and I'm extremely humbled. I thank every single one of you that, for whatever reason, determines that you wanted to send $1 or $10 or $20 or even more. Wow. It's humbling. That's what makes this community so fucking great. When I started the channel, it was to post some of my things up and you know, some of the videos I've done, you know, like the motorizing my my grain mill and you know, my fermentation chamber, and now the Brewstand and my Kegerator, and just the things that we have this passion about, and you guys have watched and hopefully taken something from it, or you've given a lot of suggestions to make my projects better, and I appreciate that. And you know, I wish I could say that, you know, soon I can pay you guys back, and I know that's not the goal here, but as soon as I do get back on my feet and I'm brewing again, and I am going to be sending beer mail out, because you guys are hitting me with beer mail on, well, over the last couple weeks I've gotten at least a package a week, and they might be, you know, 2 bottles, they might be 4 bottles. It's not the amount that counts, it's the fact that you guys care enough and you actually send it, and that's what this has really turned into, is a tight-knit circle and friendship of a lot of people, and I'm honored to be a part of it, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, I just want to send out, I don't have a list. I'm going to do a thank you video at some point, but a couple people, you know, Main Brew Guy, Jake CPU, Nut, Maxim Abs, Clement's Homebrew, and there's others. Okay, I apologize that I don't have the list right here available, because I'd love to read all yours off, and I will get to that. Thank you guys. It's humbling. It's emotional for me. You know, I wish I could say things were getting better, but the work that they did up here towards the back, which was not related to the hockey injury. This was a filling I got when I was about 11 years old. Back then they used silver. They don't do that anymore. Speaking of which, I should have grabbed that goddamn silver out of that filling. That might be worth, you know, like $2. I can go back in my fucking Brewstand. Damn, I wasn't thinking. See, that's what happens when you get knocked out. Anyways. They had to pull all the silver filling out because decay had silver will retract over the years and things can get in there, and it finally happened, and unfortunately it went very deep, and they drilled it out and they put a filling in it, which is the composite nowadays, so it's white or tooth colored, toothficers colored, I don't know. I got more bad news today. The tooth is dying, or is in all likelihood dead now. There is an infection that has set in. I am on antibiotics. Unfortunately, they're now going to have to do a root canal followed by a crown, which is another $3,000 out of my pocket. I'm up to $7,000 in the hole in my mouth. I've got about $3,000 in medical bills. So, do the math, I'm $10,000, $11,000 in the hole for medical in the last 2 months. So believe me when I say I'm humbled by everybody's contributions to the Brewstand. I thank you. I can't thank you enough. I am a firm believer in what goes around comes around. I do honestly believe that good things happen to people that are, you know, genuinely good. So it means a lot to me. It really, really does. And I'm sorry that I'm being such a downer on Homebrew Wednesday, but I really wanted to convey many thanks to everyone. You know, and I hope that I've given you something back to look at, or you know, in the future I'll be able to send out beer mail and you know, get you guys back in some way, some form, something. You know, my whole goal here was to provide something for someone to learn from, which hopefully, you know, not that I'm very detailed or very good at building things. You know, I got to give a lot of credit to Main Brew Guy in the Brewstand, because he's stayed with me thick and thin, and we're getting around stuff. I really wanted to brew last weekend. I thought I was close, but something else crept up on the damn Brewstand that I got to fix, and you know, it just goes on and on. The bottom line is, when does hockey player catch a break? And hopefully that time is now. So I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the casts. I got to come up with something else more than I'm going to stop calling it podcast. It needs to be really, you know, in the box with hockey player. That's what it's going to be from now on. That's what I'm going to name my show. In the box with hockey player, or in the box featuring hockey player, or hockey players in the box again. Those that played hockey with me would say, yeah, that's what you should name it. Which was ironic, because oftentimes I would lead the team in scoring or be close to the top, but I always led in penalty minutes. Weird. I don't know. I had a guy from Canada that I played with for a while, and he led he led our team in scoring when he played with us for that one season. But he always told me there was a couple games that he couldn't make because he was out of town, and when he got back in town, I also worked with him. He said, "How many goals did you get last night at the game?" And I was like, "Dude, man, I had a really good game. I had 2 goals and like 2 assists, man. I had a 4.9, great game." And be like, "So how many penalty minutes you had?" And be like, "Yeah, I had like 8 minutes in penalties." And he's like, "Wow, 8 minutes. Think of how many more points you might have scored in those 8 minutes had you been on the ice and not in the box." And that always sunk in. I mean, that really did. That kind of put it to me. But unfortunately, my size, I'm 6'2". When I'm in shape and I'm actually in playing shape, I'm about 205. I'm not a small guy, and so I tend to throw the body around. But anyways, enough about that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you on Saturday's show in the box with Hockey Player. Let's get it back up to around 20 people. Let's have some fun in the channels. I'll have full concentration on the tunes, and let's get it going. You got some ideas of things you want me to talk about on Saturday? Post them down there, please, in the comments. And other than that, it's Hockey Player out.